Our team has sold over a whopping $225 million in premium just last year alone, and over 7,000 salespeople have been paid. Whether you're a single mom, a grocery bagger, work at the junkyard, a successful doctor looking to make passive income, or an executive tired of the 9-to-5 BS, we're here to interview top producers and managers to help you accomplish your goals and dreams.
Hello, everybody. Andrew Taylor here. Today we have Lindsay Autry with us.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in.
Oh, I hear like people cheering in the
Yeah.
background. That's awesome.
Yeah. So everybody, Lindsay is with Americo, one of the first companies to bet on family first life when we first opened up.
Yeah.
I don't think we'd be open without Americo.
No.
When I started, I was like, oh, you only have one carrier. And they're like, yeah, you don't need any other carriers. And I was like, okay. So I just wrote a lot of Americo products because you guys were like, yeah, we're going to believe in these guys and let's see what they got. And there was only a few people with us. And then you just told me before we started filming, how many apps did we do last week?
Well, we set a record. Just last week, FFL, we did over 8,200 applications last week.
Just with Americo.
Just with Americo. FFL, over 8,200. And I'm just putting it out there. You know, Sean has already said by the summer, we're going to be doing 10,000 apps a week. And it's going to happen.
Yeah, well, the company's in a really good place for a lot of different reasons, but one specific reason is the opportunity that's opened up with being able to sell over the phone and on Zoom.
Huge.
And then the technology that Americo has with the quick underwriting, and then the new product that Americo has, which is for final expense. What I'm hearing from agents is like the best final expense product, and it's priced really low. So it's a good deal for the customer, and it issues a lot of scenarios. It's not, there's some companies, they go, we have the best price final expense product, but they don't issue any business.
Right.
But you guys are actually issuing the business as well.
Yeah, so that was a huge change, not only like with our product, but I think like industry wide. You know, when we came out with the new Eagle Select, it's no longer, you know, back in the old day when we had the Eagle Premier and the Eagle Guaranteed, it was either yes or no questions. If they answer yes, it's guaranteed. You know, it's very black and white.
Accept, reject questions.
Exactly. Well, with the Eagle Select, we now know, and as far, you know, agents, you guys all know, just because somebody answers yes to a certain question doesn't mean that they shouldn't be able to at least potentially have the opportunity to qualify. Right? So with the Eagle Select, it's no longer yes or no, accept or reject questions. We're looking at them as an individual and their specific health, right? We're no longer letting questions tell us yes or no if they're going to be approved. It's actually really going to be based on the client's health, their, you know, what medications they're taking, their history. It is 100% specific to that client. So that was a huge difference, which is allowing us to approve a lot more people because it's no longer the questions telling us if we should approve them or not. It's actually their health.
So you guys are looking more into just a diagnosis. You're
Absolutely.
looking into all kinds of other factors to decide.
Absolutely. We're looking at, you know, not just the diagnosis, but we're looking at their medications. You know, if they, let's say they had a stroke, right? Well, maybe it was like 15 years ago. Okay, great. They had a stroke, you know, they don't have any other issues. It hasn't came up again. Let's go level 1. They're good.
And level 1's pricing is legit.
Oh, you're not going to find a lower premium with day 1 coverage, with the service and the process for the client and the agent. Nothing's going to beat Americo. Like you won't. Again, like whether it's the price, whether it's the process, it's the support, it's the coverage, it's the benefit. They can't lose if you're going with Americo.
Yeah. That's huge. What are some other highlights on that product? Because I want to also get into the IUL.
Absolutely. So other big highlights with the new Eagle Select. Okay, so, you know, we've got Eagle Select, we've got level 1. That's going to be your really healthy clients. They're going to get that day 1 coverage, ages from 40 up to the age of 85, benefit from $5,000 up to $40,000. The accidental rider can be added on if they want it. And also, remember, if you add on the accidental, which is going to double the face value if they pass away due to an accident, but if they get the accidental rider, it automatically comes with that common carrier. And I believe a lot of agents forget that the common carrier, that's a triple indemnity. That's going to triple the face amount. And when we talk about common carrier benefit, we're talking about bus, plane, train, cruise ship, anything that the client would purchase a ticket for. And if they pass away due to an accident and they're a passenger on that fare paying mode of transportation, I guess, then that policy is going to pay out 3 times. So that automatically comes with that accidental. So they can always add that. But then we have level 1, we have level 2, which is going to be the exact same thing as level 1, but maybe they just have a few conditions, right? Maybe they take a few more medications or, something happened. So they're still going to have the exact same opportunity with face amounts going up to $40,000. It's still exactly same day one coverage. Everything's going to be exactly the same. Just the premium might be a little bit more simply because there's a little bit more risk, right? Makes sense. And then level 3, this is going to be our graded benefit. And we kind of has really separated ourselves from the other carriers with our graded benefit because it is a 2-year graded benefit. And what's great about that is that it's going to go up to $25,000 in face amount. And during those 2-year graded benefit, if something were to happen to them in that graded time, most carriers, it's return of premium plus like 10% of the face value, right? Well, with Americo, it's going to be return of premium plus whatever number of months that policy has been in place. So if you've got someone and they pass away, unfortunately, let's say in month, 18, they're going to get all their premiums back plus the 18%. So that's kind of how we've separated
Now,
ourselves.
how loose is that, Paula? The guidelines on that one?
So that one, they're the graded benefit are going to be those that have, let's say they.
Is it like? But what I'm asking is, how close to guaranteed issue is that?
It really is going to come down to the diagnosis. Like there's some of those diagnoses and issues that are going to be 100% GI, right? I would say, typically if they've got more than 3 conditions, then it's
GI.
It's going to go GI.
3 major conditions.
Yeah, it's going to go
Okay.
GI.
Okay, that's good to know.
So,
But so for everybody watching, graded policy usually. You die in the first 2 years, you get your premiums back plus 10% interest. And that's the company kind of hedging against something possibly could happen to you right away. And if it does, we're not going to pay the full death benefit.
right.
But you guys are saying our graded is going to pay your premiums back plus 18%?
If they passed away in month 18,
Right. Okay. What about 17?
it'd be 17%.
Okay.
If they passed away in month 10, it'd be 10%.
In month 5, it'd be 5?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's cool. So that second year is a lot more than any other graded policy that I've ever heard of or seen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's huge. So awesome. Now, you guys used to have a more expensive final expense product, but it would issue a lot of business, and it was a really helpful tool.
Mm-hmm.
Can we still write that one?
No, Eagle Premier and the Eagle Guaranteed, they're
retired.
They are retired. It was kind of a risk. We that was Eagle Premier. That was our first final expense. That's what we came out with, everything. And in order for Americo to be like, okay, we're going to take a product that, we're doing $100 million in a year, and we are just going to pull that off the shelf, and we're going to put this one out there. It's we're replacing it. We're not adding it. We are replacing it. It was kind of we were a little nervous at the beginning, but I mean, it has paid out unbelievably. Like from when we released, we've already done over 16 million with the new Eagle that we've already done.
In how long?
Let's see, November, December, January, February, 3 months. We've already done over 16 million in 3 months.
And it's priced so good. That's what I love
Yes.
about it. Because I hate if you write a policy and then someone can call and they go, oh, I'm going to save you $9. And then now usually if you do a good job selling, that shouldn't happen because the customer is going to be loyal to you. But if someone does that, it sucks because then you get a chargeback.
Exactly. Yeah. We really do believe like this, the Eagle Select, not only is it going to help agents cut that chargeback off, because you're right, back in the day, people knew that if you had an Americo, it was going to be pretty easy to come in and replace it because it was so much higher, right? They can't do that anymore. So it's going to help agents not get any chargebacks. Plus, what it's also going to do is anytime those policies would fall off, that's going to hurt your persistency, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this Eagle Select now, they can't beat you on price. They're not going to be able to beat them on the process. And FFL has the best agents. And when you guys sell, you guys are shark-proof in this enough to know that they can't get this anywhere else. And they don't want to work with anybody else. And they don't want to be having their family covered with anyone else other than Americo. So it is going to start seeing persistency for agents is just going to be through the roof. Statistically, final expense usually has a little bit lower persistency. It's going to change the market. It's going to change it.
Well, if anybody wants to sell this and you don't have Americo, my cell phone number is 760-881-6800. And I will be happy to get you hooked up with this new product with Americo. Sometimes it's funny because like the insurance world, you have people who are crushing it, and then you have this whole nother world of people that are in chat rooms complaining about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people will send things to me and they'll be like, this person said, FFL is going out of business. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, we just sent Americo 8,200 apps last week, but whatever. Yeah. We're gonna focus on working like we've always done, and you guys focus on spreading rumors.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm bringing this up is because I've seen people talk smack about Americo in there as a recruiting tool just to try to somehow get business. But people don't like it when you bash other people when you're recruiting.
Oh, absolutely.
It doesn't work, right?
No.
But all those people complaining, now they're going to be like, oh, shoot, I wish I had this new Americo product. Because it's the best product on the market.
It is. It can't be beaten.
Yeah.
And from an agent's perspective, so I don't know if you knew this about me, but so I've been with Americo for 2 years, and January was my 2 year with Americo. But before that, I was an agent. I was an agent for 8 years. And I've sold everybody from Americo to Mutual to AM, like Trans, like all of them. Like I was a broker, and I don't think I'm being vague or anything with this, but when it comes to processes, Americo nailed it with our e-application. Yeah. Like there is not a more simple process, whether it's the whole application or the text signature, like
everything. And not only that, like it tells you to stop if they're not going to qualify, like right in the very beginning.
Oh, we'll just withdraw it. We'll be like, no, stop go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because what point
to do all that work?
Yeah. When you're doing telesales and you're doing virtual sales or you're just doing sales in general, time is money. Like don't sit there and waste your time going through an entire application to get to the very end to be like, oh, John, sorry. Yeah, I know I already got all your information, but, they declined it. Start with us. A lot of times we want agents to start with us first because sometimes, agents might get worried about like placement, right? America, we don't look at placement as a negative, right? We want you to lead with us. Give us the first right to refusal.
That's huge too.
Okay? Yeah. We do not hold that against you because number one, what it's going to do is if you start with us and we approve it, great, you were done in like 15 minutes or less. But two, if we can't approve them, we're going to tell you immediately so that you can get John, a policy with one of the other carriers. That's the great thing about with FFL. You guys have multiple options because, let's just be honest, we're not going to be able to approve every single person that comes through, right? We just won't.
Yeah, no,
but that's why there's other carriers there. So starting with us, let us tell you yes or no immediately, quickly, saving you time, saving the clients time, because clients don't want to stay on the phone for another 40 minutes to go through the entire thing again. You're going to lose it. So start with us. Let us tell you right off the bat. If we approve it, great, you're done. They've got the best policy with the best carrier. If we don't approve it, don't worry. It only took you like 3 or 4 minutes to know that, and now you're off to the next carrier.
Yeah. So that's awesome. Now you're out here for our new agent lock-in training, which we do once a month. And I just want to talk about this for everybody watching. So once a month we do this training, and if you're a new agent, you can come in and we're going to try to help you get your first sale. But you can also watch people that are really good sell in front of you and get rejected in front of you, which people love seeing.
Absolutely. You learn a lot in rejection.
Yeah, and you get to see that. But we have this leaderboard that we made, a real-time Stephen Yee made it. It's a real-time live leaderboard, and every time someone makes a sale, they can upload their sale into this real-time live leaderboard, and it tracks by carrier and type of policy and all these different things. In the first hour, we were at 20,000 in sales. So we're looking at we're planning on writing a few 100,000 just from this one little meeting.
Yes.
And within calling and working, we're also sprinkling in training.
Yes.
And so we think that this is kind of like a really cool new way of training, where it's like an active training, because you hear from some of the top producers, you learn how to do things, and then you apply it right here with us. So right now, I think we have probably 150 people. We're all going to be selling and training all day. We're going over some Americo stuff, but the IUL is one of them. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so the IUL, so that was a product that we released just like right at a year ago. The very end of February is when we released that last year. And again, FFL, you guys completely shattered any kind of records or even what we were thinking we were going to be able to do with it. So with our IUL, right now, this specific IUL that we have, it is very much death benefit driven and focused. You know, there's a lot of other carriers that have some really aggressive cash value. You know, that's great.
So like, I have a National Life Group hat on. I turned it around backwards since you're here with me.
I should have brought the hat.
That's a good cash value product.
Yes.
But you're saying that this is a simplified IUL that's really focused on having a death benefit.
The death benefit with the opportunity to build the cash value, right? So the great thing with ours is it is simplified issue. So the same underwriting that we have with all of our term products is the exact same with our IUL. Okay. The application, everything is exactly the same. The only thing that's different is now you have the illustration. Okay. And speaking of the illustration, it's super simple and easy because you create it right there at the very beginning. You go through, and when you start the app, it automatically throws it right there together. And so when they're signing, they are signing everything all at one time. So you don't have to go to certain places and bring, sign it over here and then have them do a signature on this one. It is all done at the exact same time at the point of sale, right there in the application. The other great thing with our IUL is it goes up to $450,000 for all issue ages from the ages of 18 up to the age of 75. So it doesn't matter if they're 18 years old or if they're 75 years old, they can get up to $450,000. And in that $450,000, we have the living benefits that are automatically included at no additional cost. So not only are they getting the death benefits, so they've got the protection, the peace of mind knowing that the death benefit's going to be there, they have the living benefits that's going to be there, plus they have that opportunity to build that cash value, which is what that IUL is really designed to do. Now, the great thing that we kind of discussed at convention, which by the way was absolutely amazing, loved it, is we designed our IUL based off of the information and the feedback that we got from FFL. Because again, nobody sells insurance, specifically final expense and IULs, like FFL does. So we brought a lot of you guys into our office, and that's how we designed our IUL. And that's what you guys told us you guys needed and wanted: a death benefit focused IUL that was going to be super competitive in rates and simple, easy process with the illustrations, everything. So that's what we've got right now. More feedback we're getting is now we want to beef it up a little bit more, right? We want to be able to have that opportunity for the advanced illustrations, doing the max. Yes, absolutely. So we wanted to get the foundation. We built a solid, strong foundation with the one that we have right now. Now we get to have fun with it and really start building and beefing this thing up. So at convention, I released, here very, very shortly, very soon, we're going to be able to have that opportunity for the advanced illustrations right there in the application. We're going to be able to have that. It's click of a button. If you want to do the max funding, if you want to do target, whatever it is, right there in the application, you're going to be able to do it.
That's awesome. So I want to tell a quick story, because what you're talking about with the technology and the text how you can text for the signature and how easy you can use the e-app, and you guys built that. It's not like iPipeline or anything, right? It's like
No.
your own custom built e-app.
Yes.
Okay. So when I was new, so we're talking, this is 2008. I'm 18 years old, and I am doing what every agent does, and I'm like thinking, my job is to give you the lowest price I can possibly find as a new agent, okay?
Mhm.
But without understanding that not everybody can qualify for that price.
Right.
Okay? So what I would do is I would quote you, let's say you have multiple medical conditions. Instead of going simplified issue, I would quote you fully underwritten.
Mhm.
And then later you would end up getting declined. Okay.
Yep.
So July of 2008, I had written it was around 28,000 in premium, and only 2,000 got approved. And none of those other people ended up with any type of insurance.
Wow.
And the person that was mentoring me at the time, he was like, okay, I wrote, instead of selling on price, I sold on value, and I sold to get you approved, and I used the company that had the quickest underwriting to get it done the fastest. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's like, I submitted 48,000 and I issued 45,000. You submitted 28,000, you issued 2,000. So he goes, you're now since you're this guy that cares about helping people, because that's why you're choosing what products you write, who cares more about helping people, me or you? And I'm like, oh shoot, I'm not helping anybody if I don't get them approved.
Right.
So the power of the app, like even recently, like I've done a few applications, and if the application's really hard to do, I'll end up losing the customer.
Yeah.
It's like, if they can't figure out how to download an app and then do the signature inside the app and then whatever, instead of just going, hey, here's a text, read me the number.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. And I think that's a huge thing. Like life insurance, it's not hard. Getting it shouldn't be hard either, right? The process as an agent, it's supposed to be simple, because this is something that every single person needs, right? This is something that everyone needs. There's so many times that I remember when I was an agent, and I've talked to other agents in the field, it's the process. They don't want to answer all the questions. They don't want to go and have, all these different tests, or go and have, blood, urine, all of those things done. Well, with a simplified issue with Americo, all of our process and all of our products are done on agent tools. It's all simplified issue. We don't require any fully underwritten. I think we have one product that is fully underwritten. But other than that, everything we have is simplified issue. Everything can be done with the text signature. Everything has that instant decision. We have the e-delivery with their policy. So as soon as they're approved, they can have their policy delivered to them in their email, and it's right there within 2 minutes.
Within 2 minutes.
Within 2 minutes, they have their policy.
Legit.
I mean, that's the other thing. I know sometimes when I would get insurance, or you sign up for something, you have to wait a couple days in the mail and be like, well, shoot, do I have it? Like you're waiting for some cards to show. Like I don't even know if I've got this yet. No, with us, they know that they're approved instantly, and they know that they've got their policy within their inbox within 2 minutes. They've got it. Now, if they want to have their policy mailed to them, because some people like to have a paper copy, we'll send a paper copy also. But that is a great way to like solidify the sale with, you're talking to Beverly and Mike, and
you're closing the loop.
You are.
Yeah.
You're telling them, okay, this isn't
done.
This isn't a quote. This isn't going to be like, well, let's see if we can get you. No. You're approved. Here's your policy. It's in force right now.
Yeah, that used to be. So when I was new, my sales pitch would be like, all right, Lindsay, if you don't like it, maybe you won't, you can cancel it.
Yeah, you've got 30 days to think
about it. You
about
got 30 days, and guess what everyone did?
Canceled.
And then when I got more confidence because I went on so many appointments, and then I started to make sales, and I started to believe in myself more. I'll be like, Lindsay, when I leave here today, if you go to bed tonight and you don't wake up tomorrow, your kids are taken care of. It will be completely done right now. You do not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Like there's such a big difference with those two things. But if I could say, now that was just off of the conditional receipt, but now I can say, when I'm done with you today, your policy's in your email.
You have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would always follow up as kind of a solidifying sale is like, okay, this is probably, especially when you're doing virtual calls and, I sold everything over the phone. I'd say, Beverly, this is the most important phone call you're going to take today. Okay, because we're talking about your family, we're protecting your family. The second most important phone call I need you to do is the phone call right after this, and I need you to call whoever their beneficiary is. I need you to call your daughter, Sam, because she needs to know about this policy and she needs to know where it's at. So you tell her, my policy is in my email. I'm having it, I'm going to forward it to you also so you have it. Like I would tell them, this is the most important phone call because we're talking about your family. The second one, you're going to call your beneficiary and tell her where it's at. You're going to forward her the policy so she has it if something happens to you. It just kind of put into perspective, this is important. We're not playing around. We're not shopping around. No, we're getting this in place and you don't touch it. So that I love that.
I can get you contracted if you want.
Sometimes I think back, I'm like, man, I would love, because we didn't have Eagle Select when I was an agent. I was like,
You should tell Jeremy, do you care if I train while selling?
Oh, we should do an Americo Power Hour, agents versus.
Well, you're the only carrier person that would do it. No one else would actually take that challenge.
Oh, I definitely would do it, 100%.
I know you would.
100%. But no, that was, it's just a simple, easy process. And I think it also comes back to it, you have to believe in what you're selling also, right? We all need to have a story. Why are you helping people? Why is life insurance important? Did you lose a family member? Did you have a friend? What happened that makes you understand and be able to tell people this is the most important thing right now. If we don't get this done, you're leaving your family open to risk, right? What is that story for you? What made you get into it?
Well, when I was 10, it's funny. When I was 10, my dad died. Okay. And you think about how people end up doing what they do, and you don't really put all the pieces together until you really think about it.
Yep.
He had no life insurance. My mom had no job, and I have 3 siblings, and she had no money. Okay.
Wow.
So I always tell people my mom's like my hero because she's a complete animal. One, she is always the happiest person around.
Yeah.
And then she got a bartending job, a job at a daycare, and who knows what else. Took care of us, and then you get $800 a month for Social Security.
Yeah, like a survivor's benefit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Per kid until they're 16 or 18 or something. That helped.
Yeah.
But what's crazy, I always tell people is right after that, someone came over to the house, and guess who it was? It was a AIG life insurance guy, because she was buying, even though she didn't have a lot of money. She's like, I need to figure out, because what if something happens to me? What's going to happen to these kids?
Yep.
So right after that, life insurance dude comes over, and then so I turn 18, and I read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I'm like, I need a way to make money. And I was at the grocery store, and I'm like, this isn't going to do it. $250 a week, and you don't get to control your own schedule, and the hours are all over the place, right?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I need to get into sales. I met someone that was selling life insurance. I was just like, I'm totally in. If I make one sale a month, it would make up probably my whole month at the grocery store.
Right.
So I was like, that's a no-brainer. Well, my mom ended up getting remarried, okay? So this is I turned 15 or 16, my mom gets remarried. And then when I was 24, my mom's second husband died.
Oh.
So he died of a heart attack. And I was calling leads when I got the call to go to the hospital. And it was so sad. But when I left, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let people tell me no anymore.
Yep.
I was like, why am I letting people off the hook if it's this important? So then I went like, it's funny because you think like, you think that it's not you when it's sales, but it's always you.
Yep.
So from that day, I was like, okay, I'm going to tell people how important this is. I'm not letting them off the hook. And I sold like 50 policies in a row, 50 appointments in a row.
Yeah.
And then you forget how precious life is. Like it's something happens and it makes you realize it. And then time goes on and you forget.
Yep.
So then that started to wear off the importance of life, how fragile life is. And then I went back to a sale here or a sale here or a sale here, sale here. So what I did is I took pictures of all the important people or all the people that I loved that had passed away. I put them on my desk. And then anytime I was working, it would be a reminder that I'm actually helping people instead of thinking I was bothering people, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, my mom, so I'm very sorry for all the loss that you and your family has gone through. I also lost my dad. I was 20 when I lost him.
Oh.
Car accident. So accidents
Jeez.
happen, right? He was leaving. He was a high school principal, and he was on his way to referee a wrestling tournament, and wrong place. An accident. So he did have a life insurance policy, which was great. Because all of us kids, there's four of us. There's four of my siblings. I'm the baby, but we were all in college and out and everything. But my mom still, she was 54. She was 54, so young, right? Has a lot of life left to live. And, she said something about 7 months ago that when I think about it, I think of all of my agents. I think of you guys. And I'm like, I never would want a client to say what my mom just said. And this is a huge statistic. Like they're like 48 to almost 50% of clients that have life insurance right now wish they had more. My mom is 72. So she still has a lot of life left. And she's there and she's like, I wish we had more. Because now she's at that point in her life where she can't really go back and get a job and work, but everything's gone. Like the life insurance policy is gone, like living on Social Security. But when you have the increase of the economy, she's like, I wish we would have had more. And I'm like, I want to make sure that Americo has the products on the platform. The agents know about it, and we make it the most simple and easy process from the agent to the client to everything that no person ever says, I wish we had more. So
yeah. When I used to sell, I came up with this thing where because I would always think like if they had insurance that I was out when I was new. But then
absolutely.
I was like, I was like, okay, if I leave and even if I left with you getting $5,000 more, no one's going to complain when that gets paid out. They're going to be grateful that we put it in place.
I've never had somebody complain that mom and dad had a policy in place and that they received a check.
Yeah.
Nobody complains about that.
Well, that's a crazy story. I'm sorry to hear that too.
But that was like my fuel. That's what got me into, wanting to help and, to make sure people were protected because I wanted, and on the other side of it, before I became an agent, I was a family service counselor for a cemetery and funeral home. So I did prearranged funerals and cemetery. And so I've seen it, like when a family comes in and someone passes away and there is a policy and how easy it is. But I've also seen it when there's nothing and they're sending, the tray around at church, or they're setting up GoFundMes and things like. And we all know probably people that have been in those situations where there was nothing put in place because they didn't think they needed it, or they didn't think they, could afford it or anything. Right? Oh, I'm too young. I don't need it right now. I'll get it later. Well, that doesn't care about how old you are or what point you are in your life or anything like that. It's coming. It's coming to us all. So we might as well make sure that everybody that we know and we talk to is ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now, do you guys still do the CBO product?
we do. Our CBO, our cashback option. Yep.
I freaking love that product.
Oh, I do too. I've got 2 of them.
Yeah. I used to sell that thing. My pitch would be this. It'd be like, all right, Lindsay, if you get this and you don't die in 20 or 25 or 30 years, you get all your money back.
Yeah.
And if you do die, then your significant other gets the death benefit. And if you get this, then I get paid. So, because I get
Everybody
a
wins.
commission. So everybody wins. And then everyone would be like, yeah, why wouldn't I do that?
Exactly. And see, I love that because that's a great way to go at it. I went at it also is that, I usually would sell 2 CBOs is what I would do for them. I would do like a CBO 30 and then like a CBO 20 or a 25.
So good.
And because I told them like this is how I structured myself with my own. When I'm 65, right there around retirement and everything, one of my CBOs is the 25 one is going to age out, right? I'm going to take that 30 grand or something. I'm going to put that bad boy either into my IUL or I'm going to put it into an annuity. I'm going to let my money keep making me money, right? And then I've got my other one that's going to go for another 5 years that if I do pass away, okay, well, my family will get the benefit. Or if I don't pass away, there's another 32 grand that I'm going to have. And who couldn't use $32,000 when they're in their 60s and, close to 70
Yeah.
that getting ready for retirement?
Yeah. Do you have kids?
I do. I've got she's almost 16, a daughter and a 10-year-old son.
Wow. How is it with a 16-year-old daughter?
Depends on the day. Depends on the day and depends on the topic.
Yeah.
No, she's great though.
I have a 2-year-old daughter
Oh my
and
goodness.
a 4-year-old son. And the daughter is, you can just see that she's like, she's aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, and the boy's like super sweet, and she's just like
Mhm.
she doesn't take nothing from no one, and she's only 2, but like every day she puts a dress on, she does her nails, she does her makeup.
Yes.
Yeah, I can only imagine what it's going to be like when she's 16.
She'll probably be the same. She'll be the same, but it'll be great because there's moments where it's difficult because I think back, I'm like, oh my goodness, was I like this? And I guarantee you I was.
Mm-hmm.
My mom would say yes, and you were worse probably. But there's times, but then there's other times when like my son will be having trouble with something, and she'll just come out of her room and she'll sit down
Help
and
him.
I'm like,
What a dream.
what? Could I be any more blessed? Like I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
Don't think so.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How many siblings do you have?
I've got 3 siblings, so there's 4 of us. So I've got my oldest brother, him and his family, they live in Wyoming. He is a high school principal. My whole family, my mom, my dad,
Principals.
principals, yes, principals and teachers, and coaches. So brothers in Wyoming. My sister lives in Kansas City, Overland Park area where I live also. And then my other brother lives in Vero Beach out there in Florida, him and his family. So we're kind of spread out all over, except for my sister and I. We stayed close.
Are you a Chiefs fan?
I am a Chiefs fan. I am not a Swiftie. Okay.
You're not.
Not a Swiftie. No. I do love our Chiefs though. Other than the last game they played. Don't know what happened. I think we just left the talent and everything, never got on the plane. It was all still in Kansas City. It never made it to New Orleans.
I have a theory though, because I bet on the Eagles.
Oh.
And the reason I bet on the Eagles is because you know how the refs were getting so much heat on
yeah.
Instagram for like all the crazy calls they make that benefit the Chiefs?
Yeah.
So I was like, the refs are going to be scared to call things because they're going to turn into a meme if
they'll be the NFL memes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I was like, so that means they're not going to make a bunch of calls, so I'm going to bet on the Eagles.
Oh, they didn't need the refs' help on that game at all. I don't know what happened. Ugh. Sports.
Yeah.
Great.
That's awesome though. All right, awesome. Well, before we go, happy birthday.
Thank
For
you.
everybody here. Lindsay came to our meeting on her birthday, and then she also came in to do this interview on her birthday. So you're awesome. I know Americo's adding extra reps
Yes.
because there's too many apps coming in.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's yes. So if you haven't met him yet, Brandon Wilson, he is my partner with the FFL account. So very excited. He's been in the industry for a really long time. He also was an agent. He has just been answer to prayer, really, because I mean, not only is FFL growing and production growing and everything, but one thing that is amazing, and I don't think this gets talked about very much, but I want FFL, every agent that is listening to this and is going to watch this, I want them to know that because of the partnership between FFL and Americo and all of the business, because we listen to what you guys want and what you guys need, and we deliver that to you guys. So that's what's growing this relationship and this partnership. But what it's doing on the backside, with what a lot of people may not realize, is because of the growth. FFL is creating job opportunities for people in Kansas City because we get to hire more people because of everything that's growing. So they may not even realize how much more opportunity they're creating for, the family that lives down the street, or, the mom that just got laid off, or the dad just got laid off. But because of the partnership that we have with Americo, it's creating jobs right there in Kansas City. And it is just absolutely amazing. I love the growth that's happening. I mean, yeah, production's great. Numbers are great. That's all great. But there's another side of it that is just
awesome.
So amazing.
But you're our rep.
I am.
For our team.
Yes.
So if we need something, we could go to you, which we appreciate you because you always get back to us super fast.
Yes. I try.
Get stuff done. And I know you're overwhelmed because we...
you guys are the biggest.
Yeah. We also we teach people to call a lead multiple times in a row, but it kind of bleeds into the rest of our life. So if I call my wife, I'll call her 4 times in a row. If I call you, I'll call you 3 times in a row. If I call my mom, it's not just one time, it's 2 or 3 times.
Yes.
Because we're just I don't know, we trained ourselves to contact people.
Yes.
So
yep.
But anyways, you're awesome. Americo's awesome. Thank you for everything you guys do. Thank you for joining us, everybody, and we'll see you later.
All right. Thank you.